current starting offensive lineman, offensive guard, Mr. Henry Lutovsky. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing great. How are you?
Dude, I appreciate you taking the time. All right. Talk to me about a couple of things real quick before we get into Michigan. You are a guy that was chosen to be taken by your head coach, Matt Rule, to Big Ten Media Days, which means he sees you as one of the spokesmen for the team, and also being a team captain. What do those things mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor. Coming from a really small town, those are definitely two things that, I never imagined doing. So to be able to, be at Media Days and be a captain's been, the greatest honor of my life.
All right, man. I've heard you're pretty strong in the weight room. Are you the strongest guy on the team? And if not, who is? Or who are some of the strongest guys on the team?
I would put me and Justin Evans up there. And then, pretty much us two. And then, we got a lot of guys who are, right on our heels. The work that, Coach Campbell's had us do all offseason has been great, watching guys develop.
Oh, man, he didn't mention any defensive linemen. Is that on purpose? No defensive linemen are mentioned in there?
Oh, no, they're up there. Riley Van Poppel, Elijah Judy, they're close.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. All right, let's chat about the Michigan game just a little bit. I know you guys are starting to get ready, get the game plan prepped, get some practices in. When you watch Michigan on film, their defense specifically, what are some of the things that kind of stick out to you?
Yeah, they play a really, pro-style defense with their defensive coordinator coming from the NFL. So it's a little bit different than, what a lot of the, other Big Ten teams play. But, they're just a technically sound group. And, it'll be a fight all week to prepare for them, that's for sure.
So for those who don't know, when you say like a pro style of defense, a little bit different than what some of the other Big Ten teams do, what exactly does that mean?
Really, I would dive into it, but I think it would go over, a lot of the listeners' heads. It really just comes down to the way they set their formations, the types of stuff that they run. We've seen it a few times, so there's no doubt in my mind that we can prepare for it.
Talk to me about their front seven. They're a solid front seven, top 25 run defense in the country. Talk to me about what you have seen from them. And obviously you guys want to be able to run the ball. You want to be effective there. You want to be physical. But talk to me about what you've seen from them, what you kind of anticipate from their front seven.
Yeah, again, it just goes back to, them just being a really technically sound group. At the end of the day, it's going to be, our technique versus theirs on every single play.
Henry Lutovsky joined us here, of course, current Nebraska football guard here on the offensive line. I just want to ask you in general, kind of how that offensive line is coming along. Obviously, a strong start to the season for you guys, in the record books and of course, getting some big wins here the last couple of weeks. But the offensive line kind of had to be ironed out, and of course, we know a lot of rotation still at times. How is that the group kind of coming together? Is it meeting the expectation? Of course, big expectations coming into the season.
Yeah, it's been great to see how we've progressed over the past 3 weeks. I'd say that we've taken, a huge step each week from, week 1 to 2 to 3. That's really the point of, what Coach Raiola always preaches is, as the season goes on, we just keep getting better and better.
What are some of the things that Coach Raiola stresses? Because every coach is going to be a little bit different, their own way of doing things, or they might there's overall fundamentals that are going to transfer from team to team and coach to coach. But what are some of the things that Raiola likes to specifically emphasize with you guys on the O-line?
Really just our execution, technique, and effort every single play.
Talk to me about a game like Michigan. This is obviously Big Ten play. You got a ranked team coming in. I'm not going to put the numbers out there. It's been a while since Nebraska's beaten a ranked team, but they're coming into our house. They don't have their head coach, true freshman quarterback. It's a big opportunity for Nebraska. How do you feel heading into this weekend and the opportunity that lays ahead on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, obviously it is a big opportunity, but as of right now, it's great to see that we've just got a locker room full of guys who are, just worried about getting themselves better. We're not really worried about, the type of opponent we're playing or who's lining up across from us.
Yeah, good answer. Let's. I also wanted to ask you though a little bit about the fun of this past weekend. Of course, there was the all red uniforms, and then the Bud Crawford fight along with it. Was that kind of a memorable weekend? Obviously, you guys did well out there on the field as well. But just to kind of have a little fun, specifically with the Crawford fight and everything that's going on along with that. Matt Rule obviously close to Bud Crawford and all that.
Yeah, I mean, Bud Crawford's awesome. He's always been, a supporter of Nebraska athletics, especially football. I mean, he's a real one. He's been here since the start. He's really tight with Coach Rule. I mean, the red uniforms, I'm not too much of a, flashy person, so, I just wear whatever's in my locker. That didn't really make a difference to me, I guess.
Oh my God. That's such a lineman answer. Like offensive, defensive lineman. We don't really care. If I'm being honest, D linemen may care a little bit more as a general whole. Obviously, everybody is different, but offensive linemen, I don't care. I'm just going to go hit somebody in the mouth. What's in there? I'll put it on. I love that answer. Also, the nameless, faceless opponent. When I interviewed Luke Lindenmeyer last week, that's basically what he said. I asked you about the opportunity on Saturday. You're like, I don't really care who we're playing. We're just going to go out and play football. That is clearly something. By the way, I love the answer. That is clearly something Matt Rule is emphasizing. It's one thing for a coach to emphasize something, and something like that honestly will help the team in their performance going forward. How do you get guys to buy into something like that? Because that is something that's easier said than done when it comes to actually buying into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the older guys on the team, buying into it, and then it spreads to the younger guys. And we have a whole team right now that's been really buying into it. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're playing the number one team in the country or the 134th team in the country. It doesn't matter. We're going to prepare for them the same way. We're going to go out there and we're going to do what we do.
Talk to me about Dana Holgorsen, because every coordinator is a little bit different. I had D coordinators who, they'd literally sit in the defensive line meeting room with us, and I had other D coordinators who would never say a word to us unless we screwed up on game day, then they're yelling at us. And that's the only time we'd ever hear from them. Every coordinator is different. How involved with the offensive line is Dana Holgorsen?
It's definitely not something that, he has specialized in, I would say, but he does a great job of understanding what we want to do and what really helps us. And I think that makes it just that much easier to really just go out there and execute.
All right. You got any other questions for him there, Jake?
I think I'm good for now.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck this weekend. Oh, I did think of one more, actually, because the offensive line here at Nebraska, as you know, has the nickname the Pipeline. What does it mean to someone like you, who's a senior, team captain, and one of the team spokesmen, to be a part of that tradition on the offensive line known as the Pipeline?
Yeah, it's definitely, a huge honor, something that we, strive to live up to every day. But, at the end of the day, I think that we all really understand that it doesn't matter what, may have happened here, 30 years ago. We've still got to go out and perform. We've got to be our own, unit, our own set of guys out there every single Saturday.
All right, Henry, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck on Saturday.
All right, thank you.